It is official. Euro 2024 has been mediocre as of late, but despair not, because the quarterfinals are coming to finally give us some excitement and save us from boredom. Spain versus Germany is set to become the most interesting and the most exciting game of this tournament, and I'm going to tell you why in this video. Tune in. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the round of 16 games gave us a lot of drama. Ronaldo missed a penalty in extra time and favourites Portugal were hanging by a thread when Benjamin Šeško was one-on-one with the goalie. Bellingham saved England with his stunning volley in the dying moments of the game. Georgia gave Spain a proper scare in the first half. Mert Günok made the save of the tournament. Of course, there was drama. Tournament football in the knockout stage is inevitably going to give us drama, but simply drama is not enough. The quality of games is still quite poor. The goal scoring is low, the tempo is low. Most of the favorites like France, England and Portugal are still underwhelming. But fear not, because Spain versus Germany is going to give you all the excitement in the world. Why? Well, first of all, because they've been simply two best teams in the tournament so far. They've scored the most goals and they've been the most exciting teams in attack. Two, because they are also the most cohesive units on the pitch as well. They are properly coached, they have very clear identities, and having a very clear identity is crucial for short tournaments like Euro 2024, because teams do not often have enough time to properly click, and having a clear identity accelerates this gelling process. Hence, now both Spain and Germany look like well-oiled machines. How many other teams in the Euro 2024 can you say that about? England? I don't think so. France? Strangely no, even though these guys have been playing together forever now. Spanish and German players know exactly how they're going to play, and having a clear plan creates an environment where it's easier to play exciting attacking football. And the third most important reason why I think this game is going to be the best game of Euro 2024 stems exactly from the way these teams play. Both teams press high, both like to have the ball, both have high defensive lines, and they leave acres of space behind them. Look how high up Rudiger is here. Same for Spain. Look at how high up centre-backs Lenormand and Laporte are. Of course, both teams are going to lose balls while attacking, and it will give an opportunity for devastating counterattacks for both Spain and Germany. This is a perfect environment for end-to-end football. In the round of 16, Spain and Germany had most of the ball, but still showed once again that they can be very dangerous on counterattacks. In the screenshot, Spain steals the ball. Fabian Ruiz sees wide open Nico Williams on the left, and Williams uses his blistering pace and individual brilliance to score a beautiful counter-attacking goal. The same goes for Germany. Sané launches a dangerous counter-attack with 4-on-5 thanks to his pace. In the game versus Georgia, particularly in the first half, the Georgians gave a blueprint of playing against Spain. Patiently suffer in low block, wait for a lapse in concentration by Spain, intercept the ball, give it to someone who has the ability to hold on to the ball, then wait for on-rushing attackers, and then give them the ball. There, you now got yourself a counter-attack against 3 or 4 Spanish defenders. Now, Germany has many press-resistant players who can hold on to the ball, and I also expect Nagelsmann to start Leroy Sané once again to add pace to German counter-attacks. I don't really expect Germans to sit back too much because Nagelsmann is a very proactive coach. I expect him to instruct his players to do gegenpressing whenever possible to stifle Spanish build-ups. To summarize, high pressing by both teams, plus high defensive lines by both teams, plus fast players on both teams equals very exciting game. I expect a game of the Champions League knockout stage quality. Who has the edge in this matchup? Spain has been just a bit better in Euro 2024, a little bit more convincing, but Germany is a host, which is an important advantage. This is as 50-50 as it gets. Buckle up, folks, because it's going to be absolutely epic.
This is epic.
The Netherlands vs Turkiye match also has a very high potential for chaos. This Dutch team produced their best performance yet in the Euro 2024 against Romania. They were very dangerous in attack and created many chances. They had so many different options to create danger against Romania. This team is very direct and loves to get the ball to the attacking third as fast as possible. Much of the Dutch game in midfield goes through Reindeers, who can charge with powerful central runs. He also tends to find passing lanes in between centre-backs and full-backs into space for Dumfries on the right and Gakpo on the left. These two have been the most dangerous players for the Netherlands in this tournament. Gakpo is a joint top scorer of the Euros with 3 goals. He likes to drive into the box from the left wing to shoot with his right foot like he did against Poland and Romania, or to dribble to the goal line and make cutbacks, like he did for Malen's goal. Dumfries has created many chances from crosses and cutbacks as well. The problem is he is often very high up the pitch, which leaves his defensive position exposed. The opponents very often use his flank to create their chances. In this sequence, Romania is attacking and Dumfries is nowhere to be found. He is way up high on the pitch. Still, this Dutch defense was very solid against Romania. They gave them almost absolutely nothing in this game. The Netherlands is peaking at the perfect time, and now they look like a team to beat on the weaker side of the bracket. Up next is Turkiye, who defeated a very good Austrian team. They were deadly on corners, and overall they managed the game pretty well after going ahead in the first minute. You can expect the Dutch to have most of the ball, particularly in the beginning of the game, and if the Turks manage to weather the early storm, look for them to hurt the Dutch in transitions. Both Arda Güler and Hakan Çalhanoğlu are great in keeping the ball. Çalhanoğlu is a very smart player who will help Turkey to retain possession and find the right pass to start the Turkish attack, or just pass the ball around to kill the Dutch tempo. Here against the Czechs, he retains possession under pressure from several Czech players. Arda's profile is different. He is a great dribbler, and look for him to keep the ball or advance it to dangerous positions through his dribbling. Here Arda dribbles past an Austrian player and then sends the ball into space to the open player on the left. Turkey will rely on Arda and Çalhanoğlu to spot dangerous runs in behind by Barış Alper Yılmaz on the right and Kenan Yıldız or Kerem Aktürkoğlu on the left. Another option for Turkey to bypass the Dutch high press is the elusive left back Ferdi Kadıoğlu, who is capable of beating his man through his dribbling and speed. Kadıoğlu and whoever will start on the left wing for Turkey can take advantage of adventurousness of Denzel Dumfries. The biggest concern for Turkey is their central defense. They gave a couple of one-on-ones after Austria sent very ordinary through balls. Turkish central defense tends to start panicking under pressure. That was the case late in the game against Georgia, for instance. That happened against 10-man Czechia after the equalizer. They did better against Austria, but still gave the Austrians a couple of very good chances to equalize. Look for Montella to start Kaan Ayhan once again, who dropped deeper against Austria to create a three-man central defense to give Turkey more solidity in the back. This would also allow Turkish fullbacks to deal with very active Dutch wings. Turkey's head coach Vincenzo Montella said after the game with Turkey, "Tonight went beyond tactics and game plans. Doesn't it always for the Turkish national team? This team has historically been more about vibes and momentum than tactics, and they're seemingly gathering the momentum at the very right time, almost playing on a home soil. Expect the Dutch to have most of the ball, while Turks will look to play aggressively and to answer on counters. I can even see this game going to the extra time." At this point, I am absolutely through with England. They're not going to play any better than this. Sure, they can always scrape through all the way to the final with 1-0 thanks to their solid defense and individual quality, but their game against Slovakia showed that they're not suddenly going to find another gear, and they're not suddenly going to play with more creativity and intensity. Against Slovakia, England continued their boring and unimaginative display in attack. Even reaching the attacking third against a well-coached team like Slovakia is a trouble. In the sequence against Slovakia, England started passing the ball around mostly in their half.
A few moments later.
They did this for almost 2 minutes without finding a way around the Slovak mid-block. Look at that. And this is just right after they conceded a goal. And another sequence like this in the second half. Remember, here England needs a goal, but again for 2 minutes they failed to break the Slovak mid-block. They cannot advance through the half line. Of course, kudos to the Slovaks for a good mid-block, but England has so much talent in the midfield that this is not supposed to be a problem for them. Even if it is, Southgate has to make adjustments in-game to solve this problem. Only Bellingham and Mainu at times tried to take over and solve the Slovak block through dribbling, but such episodes were rare. England is very poor in the build-up, and they failed to get the ball to their most talented players up front. That is a huge problem. Huge. Foden has been very ineffective. He rarely touches the ball, and when he does, he doesn't do much with it. According to Opta Joe, before the game with Slovakia, he made more passes to Jordan Pickford, the goalie, than to the attacker Harry Kane. Kane does not look 100% either. Remember when Tuchel subbed him off in the semi-finals against Real Madrid? He said that Kane was not 100% fit. Maybe this injury is still bothering him. Jude Bellingham has also been below his great standards, but his individual brilliance and his clutch gene has allowed him to stand out even when he doesn't play well, and he scored that outrageous, stunning volley. That's Michael Jordan level of clutchness. Switzerland can do what Slovakia did, and they can do it better. In the first half against Italy, they absolutely suffocated the Italians with their high press. Italy lost a whopping 29 balls in their defensive half, double the number of Swiss losses. For long portions of the game, Italians had trouble getting out of their defense, and once the Swiss went up, they were comfortable going to a mid-block. Look at this sequence here. Switzerland prevents Italy from going into dangerous zones. By forcing them to pass around to find an opening, the ball only progresses to the wings, where the Swiss close Italians down. Everything happens on the outside, everything happens on the periphery. I expect more of the same to happen against England. At this point, if England doesn't suddenly find a way to solve its build-up issues, they're going to suffer mightily against Switzerland. And Switzerland is by far the best team England has faced in this tournament, and they have just enough quality to inflict that killing blow on this English team. England is still considered the favorite, but are they really? They have individual quality, they have superior quality to scrape through with 1-0, but for me, Switzerland is clearly a better team at this point. Now on to another massive fixture, which would have left us absolutely salivating just a few weeks ago, but France's and Portugal's poor display so far in Euro 2024 makes me wonder, is it really going to be a fun game of high quality? Honestly, at this point, I really have big doubts about it. It has been 4 games already, but France has so far failed to score from an open play. 2 of their goals were own goals and another one was scored from a penalty. But some of it may simply be explained by bad luck, because according to The Athletic, France is still creating big chances. They have 10 so far in this tournament, but they've only scored 1. This is a very poor conversion rate, and some of it may also be explained by a lack of true number 9 in the box, which they used to have in Olivier Giroud. On several occasions against Belgium, we saw French fullbacks making cutbacks and crosses from dangerous positions. In this sequence, Koundé has only 2 options in the box. That's not enough. In 2 other sequences, Theo Hernandez is in a threatening position to cross into the box, but he has only Thuram to cross to. No one else looks in a hurry to make runs into the box to give Theo options. Often France does not have enough box options to create danger. This forces them into less threatening options like shooting from outside the box, like Tchouaméni does here, again and again and again. No disrespect to Tchouaméni, who can strike the ball with power and precision, but he is no Paul Pogba, who used to make sweet strikes from distance. Portugal was not much better against Slovenia, generating only 1.13 expected goals in 120 minutes if we exclude Ronaldo's missed penalty. They had a lot of trouble against the Slovenian low block and failed to generate many scoring chances. And in order to beat the low block, you have to try different things. You have to be braver, you have to try to take on your man, you have to try to combine faster. But Portugal failed to do so. Their passing was very slow, their combination play was very slow, they didn't really dribble past their men. Only Leao and Cancelo at times did that, and when they were successful, they found ways to create space in attack. And out of other options, Portugal just continued sending in crosses, and at this point they are first in the attempted crosses in Euro 2024 with 123, 34 more than the second team in the stat. Perhaps France and Portugal would do better against teams that do not sit back against them, or perhaps France would just decide to sit back and give the initiative to Portugal, to use the blistering pace of Mbappe and Dembele to find success in transitions. Perhaps Portugal would find a way to accommodate all their talent better in this squad, or perhaps Ronaldo would finally start scoring on his chances, since he has already had 20 shots but has failed to score yet in this tournament. Of course, this game has a huge potential to be a true classic in which both teams finally find their games. Or this game also has a potential to be a very dull affair like it was in Netherlands versus France. Let's hope for the former, but at this point I wouldn't really bet on it. Folks, thanks very much for subscribing to Football On Site. This helps immensely with producing more videos and shorts and motivates me to create better content. For those who haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to do so to get all the Euro 2024 content and beyond. For now, let's get excited for the quarterfinals, which are very promising. This, I believe, is just getting interesting.